Mejana teki urei jasin. Ona tes dana afere dana sanat teuta uzira luta tistilu el khala ata tistilu. Ot egana tistilin tongdutti tutti el khala dana el khala ata kiu urit mulle. Huitata el khala betora age etani rit asnla el khala. El khalde Nisa got ya ethan with another not you know so that get al khale at so tisi
I'm Ian Donard, and I'm from Black Lake, and I'm 25 years old. I grew up on this land, and every chance I get, I try to go out in the land and practice my Néné cultural and traditional teachings. Some of the things that was passed on to me, and that's what I've been practicing. The work I do with as a community land technician is it's basically I'm like the eyes and the ears for the land and for my community back home. For example, like if someone has a concern about the land and they come to me and we do the duty to consult with them. The first time I went on a hunt for a caribou was 6 years old, and ever since 6 years old until now, for me the relationship between us and the caribou is something that we can't lose, and it's something that we really have to protect because our ancestors survived from the caribou, and until now, us Néné people, the people that uses the caribou are still hunting them. Because when we have caribou, it's like a goal. Like it's like you have everything. Caribou is just within our hearts, and that's who we are, and that's who I am.
Each year, barren ground caribou travel thousands of kilometers from their tundra calving grounds in the spring to the northern boreal forest in the fall. The Beverly and Camineriac herds roam as far south as Saskatchewan and Manitoba. However, due to mining exploration, human expansion, forest fires, disease, and predation, their numbers and range have been declining. For the Athabasca Denesuline who rely on these threatened animals, this is unacceptable. The caribou are to the Néné as what the Bison are to the Plains Indigenous people. This relationship is still thriving, and there is hope that the mistakes of the past will not be repeated.
Anybody else want to do their opinion?
If he wasn't agreeing.
So, just so you know, this is the uranium basin, right? All the uranium comes in here. This will be hard, but we can negotiate that. I'm up for a challenge.
Me too.
But as long as you guys know that we'll have to negotiate.
The idea is having community will come together.
Yes. Yeah.
One have a stronger voice.
Yeah, and so that's the communities have always indicated that land is the most important thing for caribou. And so to protect caribou and to protect their cultural identity, we need to protect the land and the water and everything in there. And so that's why protected areas are so important.
We talk a lot about making sure that the caribou don't go the same way that the bison went here in Saskatchewan. That's big talk, especially when woodland caribou numbers are dwindling constantly, and barren ground aren't even listed as endangered species, though their numbers obviously aren't as high as they once were either. So Canadian Parks and Wilderness Society has been involved with the Thi Nene Lands and Resources Office. We are in the process of developing a number of Indigenous protected and conserved areas in northern Saskatchewan. It's a really neat partnership because we have an opportunity to work with a Denesuline organization that represents all of the Dene communities.
Thi Nene Lands and Resources is a non-profit owned by the 7 Athabasca Basin communities. It was created in 2016, and since that time the mission statement is to protect the lands and waters of the Athabasca Basin to benefit the people. Biggest success for sure is the hiring of our community land technicians. We're very proud of the 4 people that we've hired. We've invested a lot into their training and their skill development, and we're really happy that they're able to support other initiatives beyond just the Indigenous protected areas.
Why the land is important to me is because I grew up off the land since childhood days. My dad used to be a commercial fishing, so in the springtime, like June till maybe September. And after that, we come back to Wollaston and then back on a trap line. So most of my childhood days is just growing up off the land, and I love the land, and that is my passion. We need to protect the land for the young generation, and we have to pass on our knowledge, our skills to them in order for them to survive off their land as well and protect the caribou. Caribou is us Dene people.
My community is Black Lake, and I raised 11 children, 8 girls, 3 boys. I grew up north too. When I was a kid, I used to go hunt caribou with my dad. It's an kina corridor. It's an seat tivit if at all. Narrated. Yet tivit at all. You cook a dog a whole a year a labinestella. I tend to take a tenor caribou die. Can't Nina chance it.
People utilize the land to make a living by fishing, trapping, and hunting and harvesting. That's the way our grandparents and our parents has survived in the past. So still, it's very important for us, for our generations and generations to come. Caribou is very important in the community. It's a #1 food for our people.
We were nomadic people. We've been follow caribou since the time immemorial, and that's why it's very important that land and caribou are connected together, and we're part of it. You know, we're all one.
Conservation in Saskatchewan is often really, really difficult. It's an agricultural province. We are the grain basket of Canada. We are the grain basket for a lot of the world. But we have a lot of important landscapes that are very precious to a lot of people. Most of all, the people who came before us, the people who've lived here for millennia. Indigenous protected and conserved areas aren't just an option for conservation, they're preferable to a lot of other methods. management of the land by the people who already live there and know it better than anyone else is the best possible way forward.
There's nobody better suited to manage land and water and protect land and water than the Athabasca Denesuline. They've been managing and monitoring for thousands of years, and so it's just fitting that they go back into that role.
Did you say Nana Gajan Nihi Hichuha at Tantisne? Bit or for a future.
When you hunt them, it's a blessing from our Creator, our God. And once you get a bless with an animal, and then you bring it home and you share the meat, because it's a blessing from upstairs there. And then later on, when you go on a hunt again, you ask the Creator to bless you again, and He'll do the same again for you. So those are some of the lessons that was taught from our elders. You gotta take care of yourself, and then you take care of your elders, take care of your youth, and take care of your community, and pass on what we were taught, our Indigenous ways of life.